last time in May. But they have a whole section of like Germanic engravings from like the 1500s, 1400s, and the stuff where they have to like etch on a plate and then run it under a press, and unreal the amount of lines they had to put in there. When you look at some of that, and I look at this guy's face, and I'm like, I didn't put a 15th, a 16th of the lines that this guy put in, you know, whoever carved it. And I've tried to do some of that copper plate etching and printing, and it is insane. And if you screw up, that's it. You got to start over. And you have to carve it backwards. Always a fun time. There we go, at the bottom of his lip there. Right. And I basically carry these lines down. I didn't have them penciled in or inked in, but we'll bring some of these lines under this iron strap. There we go. And we could do a little side hatching here. Just little doohickey lines. There might be technical terms for all this shit, but there we go. All right, dude, I'm out for the night. Thanks for streaming. Kegman looks great. Catch you next time. Thanks, Gimp. Thanks for popping in, and yeah, see you next time. I'll tomorrow through Friday, 9 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be on. And I got a whole slew of product design this week, so I'm going to be sketching out a lot of stuff for different products and for my whole smoke shop, line of smoke shop products. So, and I'll ask for some input. So as I'm sketching, I'll have, you know, you guys are watching, feel free to jump in and be like, just make that guy's nose weirder. And we'll do this together. In fact, let's do a big old spiral on his nose. Speaking of a nose, there we go. We'll bring it around. And we'll do some of these. Nice, nice. Have a great night. There we go. Yeah, really digging how that's coming out, because I didn't at first. To be honest, I was just the pencil work of the barrel and how he just laid really flat when it was just the color wash. And now that I've, you know, added a lot of the line work, it's definitely working for me. This is one of the things I love about watching artists on the creative streams too, is, you know, actually getting them, watching them, you know, work through their process and whatnot, which is, I mean, I've been live painting at nightclubs, festivals. I started out live painting behind an industrial band in 99, and so this is like my 18th, 19th year live painting at festivals, rock shows, but I've painted at like over 4,500 events, and my big thing was like, you know, we always go to these museums and we're like, God, how'd that guy paint that? And it's like, let me show you how I paint, and showing people the process, and especially in a setting where they're having a great time and they're there to have a cocktail or, you know, watch a band, or some of the events that Sugar and I threw, we had fire dancers, live tattooing. That was an interesting night. Live painters, you know, yeah, the one with Chad. It started out as him getting tattooed. It ended up with him getting his face smashed against the glass panel by the bouncer. Do not get drunk and get a tattoo, kiddos. Woo. Darken up that eye. Am I still on camera? Yeah, all right. I haven't, like, painted off screen yet. It's a record for me. All right. Yeah, I'm so stoked. Pork sent so many of you over here tonight. That's absolutely amazing. I don't eat meat, but I support pork now. That'll be the slogan. There we go. I eat fish. Pescatarian. I just can't find a good cheeseburger. Let's make that tongue, excuse me, a little more uniform. There we go. Where do you get the pentagram emote? Who the hell is he subscribed to get that? I need that one. Maybe I'll just pay someone to design one. Is this Stacy again? Is this? She's all the female vocals, right? Okay. I'm hearing the similarities, so yeah, I assume so.
This is Triangle, which is me and Debo and her.
Okay. Yeah, our other buddy Debo, who's
Oh wait, no, this is just me and her. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sugar's a liar. And we've had a long day. Yeah, so, but we do have another buddy, Debo, who DJs and as part of these conglomerate of projects from the music that you'll be hearing on the stream. And all this is unreleased, so cheers to that. We're just about done this painting. Another hour or so. We just got to do the liquor in the other hand, putting up his metal horns. Maybe splash a little black in the background for a little dirt and dust and grit and all that fun stuff that makes me get up in the morning. And we will have my 6th painting finished in the 5 weeks that I've been streaming. I'm absolutely loving the progress and productivity. You know, especially when you have a schedule like mine where it's product development and getting ready for tour, and you know, it's hard to keep a set schedule, and this has really helped me do it, you know, and guarantees that I will have time to paint and relax and not give a fuck about what's going on elsewhere in the world, and I'm happy with that. There we go. That way you kind of see his flesh lines, like, underneath the straps there. A little continuity of his fat guy laughing eyebrows. And now for the actual slats, I think we're going to come down more from the top. And then we'll go, you know, and just kind of indicate that, you know, because we want them up here, and that'll visually tell your eye, oh, this is actually made of slats of wood. And then as we bring them down, I'll fade them out. I'm not just gonna like draw a black line down the guy's face. But we can kind of curve that one as it goes over his brow, and then kind of bring it out and touch there. But you can see I'm kind of skipping around. Still gives the illusion that there's just, you know, there's boards here, but without having to actually, you know, just draw them and impede on the line work that's already done, but as well make sure it you know, definitely goes with his woody flesh. Goes with his wood. There we go. So just kind of like, beep, and you get the idea. And the fact that he has a bung, well, I haven't put the bung in yet. We'll put a bung there, and we'll put the spout. I think you guys get it that it's not a human. All right, so let's do this. Then I got to zoom out to do the other hand so it fits in the camera. All right, and for the spout, we'll just hit the turn part, make it black, shadow it on the bottom. There we go. And we just made a wood, so we'll just indicate that it's got a grain to it. We'll make that a little more, and then we'll just do a little hatching here. Cross hatching. No, only 2 hours, 20 minutes into streaming. Not bad. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and yeah, if you got to go to bed or you got to, you know, hop off, make sure you follow me, Instagram as well, at Sean Dietrich, and check out my website. I got a little business blog on there that talks about, you know, some of the business aspects of selling art, and of course, all the shit for sale. Reproductions, prints, all my merchandise, t-shirts, and then my time lapses as well. There's a video section where you can see it's like 4 or 5 custom rolling trays that I hand painted for a trade show. I was at the OCB rolling paper booth. I do all their poster work and rolling tray work. So they got me a bunch of blank trays, and I did up some custom jobs. And then one called Honest Brutality, which was a canvas painting, and it was a tribute to this awesome heavy metal podcast up in Redding, California, that my buddies run. Which I haven't talked to them in a minute. They've been posting a lot. They've been busy. They've been busy little bees. They have the Redwood Metal Fest coming up. And but their podcast is awesome. And honestly, they used to do a Friday night game show. They just haven't been able to pull it together lately that I've seen, but it was awesome. It was the most raunchy, non-PC, stress-relieving game show. But they basically would say a title, you know, Nana's Boom Booms, you know, is it a porn, is it a band name, or a book title, or, you know, and you had to guess. Or did Big Sloppy make that shit up? That's what it was. So you had to vote on what it was, and then everybody in the audience would just go, you know, come up with crazy answers to it, and fun times. Definitely not for children. Alright, so, you know what, I made that look a little bit too much like smoke almost, but you know what, it's a smoky bourbon. Get some more little pour lines going on. My internet lagging again. Okay. Hit the top of this glass. Now let's make sure, you know, little gap where the liquor pours in. Kind of a, you know, little reflection line. There we go. And I'll also go in and hit this with a bunch of white highlights at the end too, so we'll get a little reflection on these barrel straps and the ice cube. And that's right, I drew Ice Cube in my painting. There we go. Dab off that ink and cut the side of that barrel, bring him in. A little bit of hatching. There we go. And again, when I'm done this, probably take a little 5-minute break, run inside real quick, grab a couple freshie PBRs, and do some sketching. Just kind of doodle around and work on some designs for the new Genius pipe, which have been doing quite well. And every time we do a release of a new pipe, if you go to geniuspipe.com, they have really cool stuff coming out. The pipes are all QR coded now, so you can actually scan it and upload pictures to your account of you using your pipe and showing it off and whatnot. But with my pipes, with the first release, I think we were doing like the first 20 people to pick one up actually get a sign limited print with it of the image that's on the pipe. Because the first run that we did was actually just like really cool cropped versions of actual paintings, so you wouldn't get the full painting, so we included the print just to be able to show people like what the full painting looked like, if they hadn't gone to my website and seen it. But these will be the first pipes that are actually designed specifically to fit in the template and make it a lot easier to manufacture. I can be a pain in the ass sometimes with not my fault. They just come to me once the painting's already done. Alright. Just a little shadowing in here. Maybe feather these out at the bottom. There we go. You know what? I'm going to bring that all the way up. There we go. I like that better. A couple more doohickey lines. Bring this edge all the way down and over. That wasn't too much off camera. There we go. And then we can let's put a few little tacks or nails coming out where it's bolted together. Adds a little bit of texture. And of course, put a few little tacks right there. In fact, we can have these pointing out since it's the underside of his hand. High five, dude! Ah! There we go. There we go. In fact, let's draw that side. I didn't even think of this until now, so bear with me. As I make him the Freddy Krueger of bourbon barrels. There we go. Nice, nice. But any little detail, always cool. I love seeing art where you pick out little things and you're like, No way. He really went through and did all those nails. You know, I love art like that. There we go. So we'll shadow that out a little bit more. The low. The low.
Another permutation trend.
Ah. Another permatine.
Yeah, that's Stacy.
Okay. Is that a toothpaste? But that should be your album cover, you know?
No, it's actually
Or like a denture cream.
it's a twist on hairspray.
Okay.
And then just like, you know, like if teen was spelled E-E-E-N, you know, like permanent teen.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But there was a personal care product in there, so I wasn't far off.
The E-N-E gives it that
Yeah.
old-timey kind of.
Are your teeth falling out? Try permatine.
Polydent or something.
Yeah, it definitely has that polydent feel to it, you know?
Because the image we use on our permatine SoundCloud is like a chick with a big fucking boot fawn hairstyle.
Nice.
Getting her hair done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This bourbon barrel is yellow teeth. This guy's going to need some permatine in the next couple of years. There we go. All about those little details. I know this shit can be boring to watch, but I'm telling you, in the end, it's going to make it all worth it. People on Twitch are going to be like, I saw him do that 400th line on his tongue on the left side. Yeah. And it made all the difference. You know?
Bloody eyes made the difference.
Bloody eyes made the difference. Bloody Eyes Without a Face. The new Billy Idol remix. Oh, it's good shit. He's like Psycho Toothpaste Man. Sounds like a great album cover. Alright, so we're gonna hatch. Is it? Yeah, oh yeah, it is hatching. I'm like, crosshatch. Underneath his metal horns, we'll bring a little wood grain. Some of the random line work all the way down. And for those who have been watching, maybe didn't know the story behind this, this is a piece I'm doing for Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life. Two awesome Danny Wimmer Presents rock shows in Louisville, Kentucky, last 2 weekends of September. So come the first weekend and see Robert Plant, David Byrne from Talking Heads, Sheryl Crow, Lenny Kravitz, Sting, Government Mule. Stay the next weekend and get a little bit harder of a lineup. In fact, I don't even think I looked at the lineup outside of the fact that they announced Nine Inch Nails was headlining Louder Than Life. And usually if Nine Inch Nails is headlining, I tend to not give a shit about anything else. So, not that I don't like any other bands that are playing, but they kind of take the cake. So, but I'm sure there's just a slew of other cool bands playing, because Wimmer's usually pretty good at picking okay lineups. So And even though the music is a little more techno, you know, on the channel here, it is all custom music. I like to have music playing. Obviously, Twitch has a, you know, we don't want to get snagged or banned or whatever for playing copyright and shit. But my musical tastes are pretty varied. But I did grow up a rivet head, big into industrial music and whatnot. So. And if you've never heard the term rivet head, look it up. And if you already know it, we could probably be friends. There we go. Alright, so let's get a little, I kind of want it folded that way. He kind of bent his hands. Let's get some shadows going on behind here to bring those fingers out. Same on this side. Good thing about having long arms. There we go. Cool, cool. 11:30. It is early. Maybe not for East Coast or whatnot, but here in lovely Washington. The sun just went down an hour ago. That was the weirdest thing about moving up here is I didn't realize, like we moved up here from San Diego and I didn't realize where we're at in the Northwest is actually high enough that with the Earth's rotation or how it's tilted, there'll still be sun out at 9 p.m. in the middle of summer. And that really tripped us out. We moved up here, we're unloading the truck. I'm like, what the hell, man? It seems like, why are the kids supposed to be in bed? Like, what time is it? And it was like 9:30. I'm like, holy shit. And there's our screaming, fuck yeah, metal as fuck. Let's drink some bourbon out of myself barrel. And am I zoomed all the way back? There we go. So, just to give you guys the whole image, I got a little bit of detail work to do here.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more well-produced pieces of music you made.
Yeah.
Like from the vocal to the simplicity of the element.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
There we go.
Good shoes, man!
Oh, nice. Whoop. Just checking a few things. All right, let me step back and look at this for a minute. Feel free to as well. And I'll start in dropping some highlights in. Yeah, now that I've done the line work on this barrel, I definitely want to show Danny Wimmer this, because I think if he sees the full color line work, this needs to be on the bourbon bar. And one of the ideas is that I'm to paint a 200-foot mural at this event at the big bourbon bar that we're kind of kicking around, and I think it would be awesome to have just a bunch of these guys, maybe throw Hunter S. Thompson in there somewhere. We do want to pay tribute to him since Louisville was his hometown. But just having these crazy bourbon dudes running around doing various things, obviously drinking, but they could be at the Kentucky Derby, they could be whatever else we research. I tend to, if I'm paying tribute to a city, I do like to kind of look up what the underground is or what, you know, what the actual cool shit is. We all know Louisville Slugger and, you know, all that, but it's like I don't just want to present them another, and the creature stuff alone will definitely make it weird, but I don't want to present them with just the same old bullshit like you see from a lot of people that try and pay tribute to cities. And yeah, like Seattle was a vibrant music scene, and we have other cool shit than Space Needle. We have an underground techno scene. We have an underground bagel scene.
Shit. It's so underground, it's overground.
We definitely have an underground construction scene because I think they're still trying to tunnel under the city. Is it Michi? Thank you for the follow. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. And yeah, welcome to the club. I got to come up with a name for the clubhouse. Just getting towards the end of this this kind of devil bourbon piece here, and going to be adding some highlights, and then I'm going to jump over and start doing some sketches for a new line of Genius pipes. So this is the Ma Deuce magnetic pipe. This one's signed by Jay and Silent Bob. So we'll get to that. Working on new product line. I got some new neoprene mats out. There's the Cheshire. Woo, as you can tell, I like to draw things with just their tongues hanging out. I got no time for a bottom jaw. It just gets in the way. But yeah, all good stuff. Thanks for joining. And if you're an artist, feel free to drop a link to your stuff in the chat. I do encourage the sharing of art. Like to get the chat popping. There we go. So we got the nails coming out here too, just little details as far as that's concerned. I think I want a couple of folds there. There we go. This sourdough sombrero just reminds me of a big loaf of sourdough kind of molded into a hat. And then, yeah, so let's hop out of the ink. That was all ink work. This is a level 0 brush, number 0 brush. I use Holbein ink instead of black paint for all my pieces. So let's grab a smaller brush. And let's grab a new paint bucket. I've upgraded. I normally use Chinette. Now I'm using discount grocery. Sometimes my art supplies are deplorable, but it gets the job done. And so we'll start up here at the top, work our way down. What I'm going to do is pop into this white here with a nice clean brush and maybe a little bit of dirty water. And then we'll start just popping some highlights. Give these barrels like an edge. There we go. And I do love the black ink work. I mean, I truly think that's where the magic comes through, you know, when I'm doing the black ink work at the end, and I really enjoy it. Brings everything out, the detail work in the face, all the lines that you don't see yet because I'm just dropping color washes in. But once you drop the white highlights too, it can really make a painting. Certain areas it can bring it out, make it pop. Little highlights right there. Don't want to go too crazy into the eyes. In fact, I'm going to thin that one out with a little black ink. We'll go with kind of a universal lighting. So we'll put the same white on this side of the bourbon barrels as well. And then we'll just take a drive down this side of his horn. And you can experiment with different textures too. I mean, a lot of people try and get that, you know, incredibly smooth, but sometimes it's, you know, it's maybe he's got a textured horn, you know, so let the canvas kind of break up that paint a little bit. And you can always go back and smooth it out a little more, play around with the different textures and whatnot. So, and then we cut in on the opposite side, but on the inside. There we go. And back to leave a little. Down the wire. All right. And then even on the bones, like just to kind of top it with a little bit of white, even if it's, you know, just a little bit watered down. It still gives it that, brings it out a little more from the background, since in that area, the background kind of blends in with the bones. Okay. Thank you for following. It's Telos? Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But I appreciate the follow. Thanks for hopping in. It's been a good Monday. And make sure you guys, if you're on Instagram too, at Sean Dietrich, and then SeanDietrichArt.com is my website. It's got my business blog for artists. It's got all my time lapses too. So if you want to check out some, so if you want to see me paint a little bit faster than like 4 hours, you can hop on over and see about 7 paintings done in maybe a half hour. There we go. Top of the sourdough hat. Yeah, we're basically just hopping back and forth between a little bit of water and we can kind of dot these Venus flytrap vines here right at the top before they kind of waterfall into the darkness. Sweet. Oh, I like this track.
Yeah,
Woo! This is, it just says something. Okay. Yeah, that fucking... Nice. A little bumpy track. A boom thwack. Well, not necessarily a boom thwack. That has like an incredible, like Lords of Acid sound to it. Oh, wow. Me Reiki. There you go. I want to tip those horns really bright white. There we go. All right. And let me go ahead and zoom in. There we go. Look into my eye. What we got here? we'll hit just above his eyeball here. Maybe a little slathering. It's like a quantity of mayonnaise. There we go. Nice. Alright, we're getting there. And then I'll, in fact, go back and do a little more touch-up even with the black ink. Like I said, it's all about the layers. Layer, 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 layer. Like a 7-layer burrito. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Alright. So yeah, see how it kind of brings it out. Highlights. Just as important as the shadows. And we can also do, we'll get some like, it's kind of like hatching where the bridge of the nose picks up some white, just kind of bring that out a little more. And basically just dry brushing some color in right here. And then I kind of blend it in with my hand, so. We'll just go right around the edge of his nose there. Nice. Alright. And yeah, this track is insane, dude. Who's this with? Alien Tom?
Yeah.
Well, you tell Alien Tom if there's one thing he's done right in his life.
Oh, yeah.
It's this track. This is good noisy shit.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yep. There we go. Louder Than Life. Yeah, if anybody's in the Kentucky area, you should check out this festival at the end of the year. I'll put a couple of highlights on the teeth here. Just to show that there's, you know, they're yellow, but there's some enamel left, and he can shoot you that, hey, I'm the devil. With a little bit of a flash on his teeth. Like I said, we'll actually hit this again with the white. Alright, and now my favorite part. Let's get this tongue in. Boom. Let me actually move that down so you can see it. I'm gonna have to come up with an emote that people can just like blast in chat when I zoom in and I start painting off camera. Because I can see the posts that kind of pop up out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh shit, you know. There we go. I've heard this recently. Were you working on this? I don't know why I feel like I've heard it, even though I've not heard it. Just kind of, there we go. And we have a tongue. cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Adding some highlights. Make this baby pop. Sign this, and then I'll take a short break, and then we'll hop back into some sketches. All right, so let's get these highlights on the eyes. And here's another game we play. Sean's going to put the highlight on the eye, and how long until he works elsewhere and smears the shit out of it. I'm going to start figuring out a betting system. All right. Now, one of the things I do want to do is get some separation here, and I think that's going to come in the form of a little highlight up here between this Venus flytrap. Oh, you two were working on this when she came up. I think this was that track. Oh, my mind's a steel trap, motherfucker. It is. And then a little bit on the slug, and the slug you can slugs are slimy and weird, and so you can just do you can random highlights. Depending on how it's bouncing off, like the mucus on its body and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely got to add a little blacklight reactive paint to this, and I'll have to post a little video. If you go to my Instagram at Sean Dietrich, SEAN Diet Rich, scroll down a little bit, you'll see some of these bourbon barrels, like 2-liter bourbon barrels that I painted, and and one of them's a Cheshire, and one of them's like a Kraken that's kind of like tempting this fish with its tentacles, and they're all there's pictures of them both with and without the blacklight reactive paint. So you'll see it like this, and then when you hit it with the blacklight, sometimes I use an actual orange that's like neon, so you can see it, and then with the blue, it's actually invisible that goes over the painting itself. Let's see here. I don't want to. Oops. That was completely white or water. Just wanted to kind of touch on some of this area. So, get a little bit of white on these snails. Boom. Bring a highlight in here. One's back. Just follow those lines around. I think I want to do a little bit of a sharper line. There we go. All right, so let's wash the old brush off. and beat the devil out of it. And I'm going to go back into my ink. We're going to touch up some of the black. We're going to sign this thing. And you lucky bastards that are still watching. I'm the lucky one, I know. Thanks for hanging out. We will have another completed painting. So I'm just going to cut around some of these white lines, really tuck them back where they belong. And we'll do some hatching over this one. There we go. Just accentuate it a little bit. And then we'll go back over the teeth. Just cut in some of these lines again. Make sure there's a nice tight black line around the tongue. There we go. A few more of these little rough lines here. Bring the tongue out there. There we go. It's a Revolting Cox tribute track. There we go. Just kind of darkening up a lot of these lines so they pop against the white and really play off each other. So, and yeah, cut that back in on the snail. There we go. Is that you?
No.
Oh.
That's Dan Hoy.
Ah. Happy tune. Okay. Maybe a couple little lines in there. I like tucking the white up underneath, gives it a more slimier effect. There we go. What is with my internet? My internet seems to have Parkinson's. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at this bad beast. Alright. The Devil and Suburban. Whoopee. Oh. Let's get a little white up here in the glass. Gotta have some highlights on your ice cubes and your bourbon, because it's, what do they call that? A liquid. Get a little bit of that flowing. Almost like a Van Gogh-ish, big brush strokes in there for texture. Awesome, awesome. We're into hour 3 of tonight's stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I love it. I dig it. Cheers to you. Crack open a nice cold PBR. Crack open a skull, whatever. Just about finished this. I just got to sign it, and then I'm going to take a little break, and I will come back, and we can start some sketches on some new products, new ideas for the Genius pipe. And I'll pull out a few of these pipes and kind of have them around the sketch pad so you guys can check it out. This is the one that's signed by Jay and Silent Bob. Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith showed up at the Famous Brands booth at the Champs show while I was live painting right across the way at the OCB rolling paper booth, and there was a big line for signatures, but my buddy Chase from Stone Age Chase walked up, gave him some goodies, and hey, can I pop in and get a signature and a picture? And that's the way it's done. Good shnikes. Okay. I'm going to zoom in and sign this bad boy right here. And then I'll let you guys just take a look at it while I run inside real quick and relieve myself and relieve the refrigerator of some beers, and yeah. Okay. Yeah, right next to this little snail here, so. That's crazy. The minute I finished the painting, the music ended. Well, I'm going to play this track again while I sign it. I feel like I can't sign a painting without music, right? Hell yeah, I'm done. This painting should have been done days ago. One of my slower pieces. It's after midnight, officially 9 minutes. It is 7:10. Happy 7:10, everyone. Take a dab. That's right. And now that it is 7:10, what is the code, Sugar?
Free shipping.
And
all uppercase.
Free shipping. I'll type that in the chat. In honor of this festive day of dabbing of oil, we're going to go SeanDietrichArt.com. Bam. Coupon code, all caps, free shipping. 2 separate words, 1 word, doesn't matter. And we're going to take care of all your shipping. Tapestries, bandanas, face shields, dab mats, anti-slip mats, all the goodies. My new art book and any print, all the new artwork that I just streamed on Twitch over the last few weeks. The Whale, the Hunter S. Thompson, the Mad Hatter, the MG42 machine gun Mosquito, and what else? The Shermanthropede are all available as prints as well. So, and we're going to call this one a wrap. Yeah. I don't know, yeah, where that came from, but we're gonna come up with a cool story for this guy because he's gonna be a featured character, and I think we're gonna I mean here's my if you sub this is your sub emote you get. And I'm gonna be hopefully developing a whole bunch more of those and whatnot. So I'm gonna take a break. I will be back in like 5-10 minutes. Let me run inside real quick, and I will just leave this here so you guys can take a look at the painting and enjoy. And hopefully I will see you when I come back. And look at the back of that guy's head. Look at it. I'm back. 1 second. I'm gonna grab my sketchbook and more of these lovely pipes. Finished product. Brand new painting. If you want to name that guy, throw a suggestion in chat.
Well, the barrel needs to be like can of barrel or can of hole. Like a tree.
The can of barrel.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Like the can of barrel devil hat.
Oh yeah. Can of barrel Lester. I got me some pipes. Woo! Genius pipes. Just clean up my area here for a minute and grab a. Well, this is nothing like drawing with a hot big pencil.
It's like Jesus the derby hat, but like at the same time it's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and then for be more urban and beyond, it is a derby hat, but it's guitars instead of bows, you know. And it's a field of grass, and, you know. But it's funny because if you see pictures of the infield of the Kentucky Derby, it is just pure alcoholic destruction.
I mean, isn't that why people go to shit like that?
Yeah, the derby hats are just obscene and, you know.
Not because they actually care about the horse.
Yeah. I don't care about the horse. I mean, because it's hours of drinking for like a 2-minute race or however long the Kentucky Derby is. But, you know, it's not, they're partying all day for nothing. So we have the devil, yes, we have this derby, kind of derby hat, and I love some of the aspects that kind of popped out, like this kind of looks like an old lady's hair in the bone yard, the bone zone. You got the slug that help him see in all directions. You got the devil eye, you got the Venus flytraps to add another little element of creepy, flesh-eating plant life. And then the bourbon guy. Let's zoom in on his face, because I'm so stoked on how that came out. I think I would drink with that guy. I would drink that guy with that guy. And he's got his little, almost like his nose got chopped off and that's the rings of the tree. Like maybe he got a big Pinocchio nose. Like, whatever. Alright. Try to find, I don't have one on hand. GeniusPipe.com though, if you want to look up the Mad Hatter one. But I had a Mad Hatter piece. We did an Alice piece. So the Sugar Cube one, which in the image, whatever that thing's called, slideshow, the one that either just popped up or will pop up. But the girl, she's got the ferns in her hair. Excuse me, that's actually Alice. I did a piece called the Mad Hatter's Absinthe Party. And it's 7 feet by 4 feet, 4 feet by 7 feet. And that was one of the character designs that I did to make, you know, how I wanted to draw Alice in the piece. So it was the Green Fairy, she was drinking absinthe, so I took the whole Green Fairy thing and ran with it, and they were doing her hair up with ferns and whatnot. So we did a pipe of that, we did a pipe of the Hatter, where he's drinking absinthe. We have Ma Deuce, which is the 50 caliber machine gun girl, 50's housewife, and then we have the Grind Rod, which is the tapestry behind me, and it's one of the big yellow painting that's in the image slideshow. And both of those, that's my girl Vera Vicker. She's kind of my spokeswoman, so I put her in a bunch of paintings. I got a painting up here on the wall that I'll eventually finish where she's roasting a dinosaur on a spit. So she kind of time travels. That's more steampunk back there. 50's housewife, 50 caliber machine gun from Ma Deuce. She's been in World War I, where she started. Her name is derived from Vera Lynn, who sung the song "We'll Meet Again," Don't know where, don't know when, which was a very popular World War II song. So Vera and Vickers, the machine gun that she was using in her first painting, is where I got the name. So we got 2 Vera pipes out. We got 2 of the Alice ones. They want to finish the Alice series. We want to do and one of the ideas is that with the Genius pipe, it's got the hole at the top where you put your herb, so we could do like something where that actually goes, that's the rabbit hole right there. So we could have a little rabbit jumping in there, and then have like, maybe something behind it, his pocket watch we could do for the white rabbit. It's very limited. Like a lot of these we just kind of cut an image out, but to design something specifically, you can see the surface I had to work with. So something has to fit kind of in that area and work well. And then they have other versions too. The slider, this one in particular has a grinder on it, and then it has a little pop-out dab tool that fits right in there. But see, they have ones that just have flowers or whatnot. But this is for the limited edition art series that we're working on. They do have one that's like the spy one or something. So it's black on black on black. It's a black slider. So yeah. So we like the idea. One of the other images that is in the image slideshow is an alien. It's a queen alien. That's a Michelobio queen. So I have these little alien characters that are in the grind rod painting behind me. And I came up with the queen one, which has the horns. And I'd love to do a version of her on a pipe. It just popped up on my feed. So I don't know. It's going to pop up on. Well, I'm actually watching it live. But you'll see it. It's got a couple spaceships and whatnot. So we do want to do one sci-fi one. We definitely want to do the caterpillar, and I have an idea I think I'm going to start with for the Red Queen. But instead of being just like the Queen of Hearts, or just painting the roses red and all that, I want to make her like an old poker player. Like she's at a Vegas casino. She's an old queen. She's got a visor on, like the green poker playing visor, and she's got her Social Security check next to her, and in a ashtray full of cigarettes, and things aren't looking good. And maybe she's got like the I Love Vegas shirt on, or some corny ass t-shirt, but then she still has the frilly thing around her neck or whatnot, and maybe her hair is done up through the visor. And then maybe the pit bosses behind her are, the cards, like the card guards, but they're the actual pit bosses in the casino. So what I want to do is maybe frame out and do just the Red Queen, and then maybe put something symbolic on her, visor, and keep her the thin area where it could go on the pipe, and then I can expand outward for the to do the background with the full casino scene, and maybe add some other characters back there. Have the Cheshire on the head of like a poker dealer or whatever. But I want to get the Alice stuff out of the way, so that whole series is actually out, and then we'll work on like kind of a 50s sci-fi theme. Coming up on the stream as well, later on down the road, I will be live painting a bunch of these, and they will be used as giveaways, whether at the rock shows that I'm at or on geniuspipe.com. But I was sent a bunch of these, and what I'm going to do is line them all up and do one image that goes across all of them. But I'm gonna work it in a way that maybe the characters kind of fit to where if you split it, I got this guy, and but if you put all 7 pipes together, they form a complete image, and then we'll take a picture of that or whatnot. So, Mark, what's up, dude? Thank you. Yeah, all finished. So we got the bourbon barrel drinking himself down under the Devil's Kentucky Derby hat, and then slugs and the Venus flytrap. And eventually for Urban and Beyond, which is like a more subdued Robert Plant, David Byrne, a little more, kind of Louisville, mint julep and whatever. We're going to do one with a bunch of guitars coming out and more of a derby hat with a pinup check. But what I'm going to do is move him up, just like I did with the Devil sketch, with the Louder Than Life logo out. So, dude, I owe you so much tonight. Thank you. very much. I had probably, 9 new followers, another sub. Thanks for sending all those people this way. So I really appreciate it. I'm honored, and I'm ecstatic on how just the first 4 weeks that I've been on here, I've actually knocked out 6 paintings, and I've got 70 people chilling, and so it's been awesome, and the artists that I've been connecting with, so I really appreciate it. It's been super stoked. So, and are you stream? Have I followed you yet, or what? I don't know if I'm watching what you do, or if I can throw you on auto host, or or whatnot. So, dude, what the fuck? Where do you get these fucking cool remotes? That thing is amazing. I know. This was my first one. I got some guy on Fiverr in England who designed me a remote. Yeah, but it was awesome. I mean, people were. Somebody came in and said they stopped streaming to come check it out, or something like that. Or I was like, that's amazing. So. Oh, okay. You're streaming. That's where people are coming from. That's awesome, dude. I can't believe you're sending people from here. So that's amazing. I appreciate it. Here's to you. Fresh patch Blue Ribbon. And I will make sure that I send people your way now, and I got to get all my stuff set up. I just haven't had time. I'm so busy with the store and merchandising and all that I do need to set up my go check out this guy and all that stuff. I have a few people. I'll throw you on auto host for sure. Make sure I do that. So, but I'm getting into it. I was happy when I got my image slideshow up and running. I'm like, yay! Yeah, no, thanks for connecting. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Like I said, through social media, I've connected and had more connections with real artists and other people, creatives and whatnot, in the last month than I have in a very long time on Facebook or Instagram, where it's just here's what the algorithm wants you to see today, And so I see a big opportunity for the creative thing, and I hope that people really do put a lot of time into this and help push it, because this is an amazing outlet for artists. And if you are an aspiring artist and you don't know what the fuck you're doing and where do I go, I mean, it really is incredible. This is why I go out to the art shows and whatnot. But as opposed to packing up the motorhome and the trailer and driving 10,000 miles over 2 months, I get to hop online and connect with people in the comfort of my own studio. So they both have their benefits, but this is definitely a really cool way to spend my time and beef up productivity and knock out a bunch of paintings. I mean, I got a wall full of paintings back there now that have all been finished in the last 5 weeks, and when I go out on tour in a month and a half, I mean, that's going to be all probably another 5 or 6 paintings. So yeah, very cool stuff. What are you working on? I got to be able to pull you up on my phone. Hang on. Let's see. Well, maybe, I don't know. Twitch will make you work. It does. That's a great t-shirt. They should put that out. Twitch will make you work. There's the creative shirt. Miki, thank you. Thank you so much. The Kragasm. That's rad. Yeah, I'm super stoked on it, and yeah, just I mean, you can see I could tilt the webcam, but there's all the other paintings and then Mob News, but the guy who photographs my art is super happy, I'll tell you that. He's just, I come in every other day and drop a painting off, and he's like, what the hell, man? And I'm like, you have no idea. So, but yeah, I think the next week I'm going to work on, a little bit of product design for the new rig, get the new Genius pipe designs out, get those off and running. then I want to jump into some other cool stuff. Like I got the motorhome, I got larger scale paintings that are in the works, and whatnot. So I don't even know if you guys can. There we go. I didn't actually have the thing on me. That's amazing you guys could hear me. That microphone was way over there. I didn't even know this thing could pick that up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little sketching. Just gonna kind of kick around and work on this Red Queen piece. Bust out the old sketchbook. See some of my behind the scenes stuff. There's the whale. And then that was EMG. These were a couple concepts for the mosquito. One of them was to have him punching through the world. So the machine gun was actually punching through planet Earth. And then the other one was the legs of the mosquito grabbed onto planet Earth and were dragging the planet across a wall, and the blood was coming down. That was the original, or what it became. Notes. All right, fresh paper. Yeah, I mean, I get work done, but it's nice to have a scheduled time to paint. Because a lot of times it's a little bit here, and then I got to go do something, and then I got to, you know, so to be able to say, you know what, every day at 9 p.m. I'm going to be painting has helped, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with my business. And we're in 10 different industries right now. We met with a business mentor this morning and had a really great meeting with someone who's going to help with the real nitty-gritty and you know, finer points of drawing up contracts and looking at funding and all the other stuff that goes along with you know, growing a business. So, and it's called SCORE, SCORE. It's 15,000 volunteers across the nation. They're all successful business owners. They've owned businesses. There's people. One lady ran ops for the CIA or some shit, but they've all bought and sold. The guy who's mentoring me right now just sold a business, one of many throughout the years. He's looking to buy another, but he can actually walk you. It's all free too. They volunteer their time to help small businesses like build. So I basically went in there and told him what I did, and then he's got, like, you know, he's going to email me the basics of what I need to do the next level and then the next level. And so it's really cool to have, you know, that resource, because that's definitely one of the things, obviously, as artists that we fucking hate to do. And I have kind of a passion for business. I find it pretty creative, but you know, it was a cool morning, very cool morning meeting with this guy. I'll put the Genius pipe up there. You got one of the pipes? Oh yeah, you got one right there. Let me display. I think this is the Alice one. Hatter? Grind rod? Oh, it's grind rod. Okay. Oh man, it's dirty. There you go. I won't dump it, but where are you at? There's the grind rod pipe. Ting, 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 ting. Ah. It's birds. All right, bro. Sugar's out. Say goodbye. The man behind the music, the man behind the time lapses, orchestrating all the music. He put in another hard 12 hours of smoking weed today. Takes a lot out of a man. No, he doesn't. And then another, yeah, now it's time for 12 solid hours of sleep. All right, so we will, so I'm thinking that, okay, so if I'm thinking the Red Queen, and I really want to focus on her face because I can just get down and dirty with the line work on her face, so seriously, she will just be a withered bag, you know. Get down with the line work, right? And then, yeah, that could get, you know. Tammy Lou, thank you for the follow. Welcome. We're just doing some sketching for the new Genius pipe right now. If you weren't tuning in earlier or whatnot, I'm not sure who's hopped in and whatnot, but there's the finished piece. And in fact, I'm going to lay that there while I pull up something on my iPad right now. Yeah, okay. A poker visor. Oh yeah, maybe some cards poking out of it or something that indicates it's a red queen. That way it's like, oh, and cheers, we're at 666 views. 666 views. That deserves a little devil love, a little devil tongue. Enjoy all. All right. So let's pop back into that sketch. And so like I said, as you can see, the real estate's pretty thin on this pipe, and the way the pipe splits in half, 2,000 divots. These actually cool the smoke. It's the same technology used in nuclear reactor and CPU cooling. So each one of them is a divot, so it creates a little vortice. Cools the smoke as you draw across it, so it's virtually coughless. Magnetic. And then from top down, the slider, put your goodies in there, slide down, light it, draw from here, and when you're done, extinguish it. It goes in your pocket without lighting you on fire. Super thin too. So, but to get the artwork on there, I mean, basically we took a painting and we kind of cropped it to fit, but we want to design stuff specifically for the pipe itself. So that's kind of where we're working. And I'm thinking like really, really just kind of thin-headed, just real skinny, kind of thin-headed old lady. And we'll kind of bring, almost that fear and loathing visor that Hunter had on, but. I'm going to render this pretty detailed. A lot of my sketches are just kind of like, and I'm like, yeah, okay, there's a painting. And that's where I go with. So, but I think for her, we're good. And I'm wondering, we could go all crazy with this. We could put a rose here. And in fact, if we did the pipe, and the circles at the top, and we put our head starting here and kind of go down, we could frame this hole up with roses, and that would be really cool. And then it kind of comes down into her visor and her, But I want to put something iconic on the visor because we're only going to go in real tight. I don't have a lot of background room to add like the Cheshire and all the other characters, or something that's really like, oh my God, this is Alice in Wonderland, So we're going to just kind of indicate some roses right here. And we'll put one off to the side like that. And I think maybe we'll just put some playing cards. Maybe it's too tall. We'll work on framing that out. But this is how, this is how every one of these paintings started. This guy started as a goofy sketch, nothing detailed. And I normally don't render, but this was for a company to check it out and see if they wanted to use it for promo. So this was the original sketch that became that painting. And as you can see, it actually has the concert logo on it. So what I did is moved him up and actually like dropped his tongue and made him bigger. Got rid of the little spider. I do like spiders, but I like the Venus flytraps that were in the other one. So maybe we'll just, let's just kind of, whatever. It could be the Queen of Hearts up there and whatnot. Think about something from here, and then, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our eyes here. So, but I want to go like kind of dopey with her eyes. I want her to. The idea is like I'm super tired. And give her the McArch, the golden arches. And I started using mechanical pencils too, so I could do like some of that, you know, which will eventually be all the line work with the micron pen and whatnot, or the micron pen, the number 0 brush with the Holbein India ink. So we could go something like that. We could also bring the eyelashes out and almost give it that. It's like almost like an old Max Fleischer kind of Betty Boopish, Betty Davis eye. But I'm thinking right now I'm trying to fit it just a little too technical. We're trying to be a little too technical with the actual like facial structure and whatnot, and I think I need to go pretty gnarly with her. And it's got that little white ridge. So move the pipe a minute since I'll be. And it's very, you know, it's a clear visor, so she's kind of looking through it at her poker deck, looking at her cards. So in this instance, I don't need to add anything, you know. Gorgeous 361, what is up? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the late night sketch session. Finished up a painting. Boom. The bourbon barrel devil is finished. And, you know, in Mosh we trust. Phenomenal work, my good sir. What is up? Thank you so much. I just saw that comment popped in. Pork sent you. Awesome. The flow of pork continues. That's amazing. Thank you for obliging him and coming over. Has been sending so much, so many people. So yeah. So right now I'm just kind of googling around. The first 3 hours I finished up this piece right here, and now I'm working on the new Genius pipe graphic. And they have a Hatter and an Alice, and I'm working on like a spending her Social Security check, old lady Vegas poker red queen, as opposed to like a traditional red queen where she's just, you know, all flowery and an actual queen. So, you know. But yeah, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it. Yep. Pork is the dude. Now, nose-wise, I wonder, like, just this, like, cantankerous, like, twisted, weird nose. That'll work. Like, I don't want her... I don't want her too deformed, but I want her to be kind of, like, almost if you were at a truck stop diner and you saw this lady eating a buffet or whatever at like a TNA or whatever, you couldn't help but stare, or you'd be like, what the hell was that lady's story? You know. So I want to bring her down to a familiar area, but, you know, not deform her too much, but maybe just her weird ass nose will be like, what, you know, what happens. So and we could definitely give her, you know, I do like the heart-shaped lips for the Queen of Hearts. You know. But we're definitely going to need a cigarette between those lips. Otherwise, it's, she might even look too regal. Even as weird as she is. So we'll, yeah. So we're over the heart-shaped lips. That nose has to go. We are going to change the shape of that nose. And if you're going to smoke one cigarette, you got to at least smoke 3. Should we go 3rd? You know? Like the waitress in Hell or High Water. Yeah, you know, just any of those movies where it's like you know, the old flow, you know, of the diner, you know, or whatnot. So definitely, yeah, I want her to have this intrigued kind of look, but at the same time, like she's just haggard. So maybe let's flesh out a face form for her. Definitely a pointy chin, you know, because like I said, the pipe itself, I got to fit like in that kind of real estate going vertical, so. And that's a fucked up chin. You know. And it's, I mean, there's just going to be an immense amount of wrinkles on this lady. I mean, she's going to be like the opposite of like an Oil of Olay commercial. This will be like, there is nothing we can do for this poor broad. She spent every day staring at the sun for 12 hours. There we go. Yeah. And then once again, for the newcomers, this is the piece I finished tonight. So this will eventually look like this. And she may even look like that. Maybe I'll have her tongue hanging out, you know, royal straight flush. Who knows? And all the little details, you know, this is just a rough or whatever. You know, my wife's a poker player, so I'll hit her up. Be like, what kind of crazy shit have you seen at the tables? And give me some of your experiences. And she may need a couple, maybe a little facial hair. Almost like reminds me of like a Bob Camp, like Ren and Stimpy painting, like when they did like a close-up of something in Ren and Stimpy, it was just that gorgeous painting. Like if it was Ren's mouth, it'd be like a wooden tooth and a sailboat or whatever the hell, something stinking, rotten fish in there. But just an absolute like gorgeous painting, and creepy and disgusting too. So yeah, maybe I don't mind her nose. I don't know. I almost like the little spiral nose. I just like that. It's almost like a piece of cloth. Wish I had the original. I did one with this devil guy who had it's a t-shirt design that's coming out, but it's the devil's head. But his head it's got 2 legs coming out, like fishnet clad, like women's legs coming out of his eyeballs, and the dress falling between her legs forms his face. So it forms all the wrinkles of his face. And then he just has this giant spider on his head, and then his tongue actually has these little tabs of acid all up underneath it, and then they're butterflies, so the acid tabs are actually flying off his tongue. So as I'm looking at her, I'm thinking, should I make her like this weird... It'd be cool to have like if her dress that she was wearing also made her face. We'll figure that out in post-production. It's almost second to inking. Just kind of noodling around with some sketches. Yeah, I think we will just. No, I do want to give her eyes because I want her looking at the cards. Otherwise, she just looks like a sleeping. Like, did our waitress fall asleep? Yeah. I mean, it could be. Almost be cool just to make her completely melting. I got a buddy that does a lot of melty shit though. Not that I can't because he does, but you know. I always try and like, even if an idea hits me and it's like somebody's signature thing or whatnot, I always try and like, okay, well, there's got to be a different way to kind of convey that. Or else it'll come out looking too much like somebody's piece that's already been done or their style. And yeah, I think the golden arch. The McEyebrows. Yeah. You know what? How's that camera doing all the way up there? There we go. Get you guys a little closer view. I'm thinking like. Like, what is that weird thing, you know, that they have the queens and kings and something stylized like that. It's like 17th century regal meets, you know, 20th century, 21st century garbage street vendor or t-shirt vendor. I think of that.
This is what her feels like. Go underground.
You know what? Where's the There we go. So definitely, you know, nice big red lips, nice heart shape. I'm just kind of making some decisions here, as Bob Ross would say. Maybe there's a big old tree on her chin. Alright. In fact, yeah. Maybe that ain't a cigarette. Maybe it's a joint. Oh, there we go. We got a joint and a cigarette. So A girl's got to have options, right? You know. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I don't want to alienate anybody. I don't want a smoker watching going, you know what? Why does it have to be cannabis all the time? And I don't need someone who's into cannabis going, shit, man. She'd probably enjoy a joint. Don't like that. Okay. Okie dokie. I don't know if I've plugged my socials recently, but at Sean Dietrich's my Instagram, and then Sean Dietrich Art on Facebook. SeanDietrichArt.com is my site. Check out all the weird time lapses I've done, and of course there's merch and prints and all that good stuff. But I do have a business blog for artists as well. Bring that down there. There we go. Just put her in a space helmet. Like a Heisenberg outfit. Or sort of hurt. Just kind of connect these lines. And, yeah. Little liney kind of gal. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Going into hour 4 here. Funny how time flies. My God. I think it just feels like I logged on 20 minutes ago. And until I get up and realize how much my ass hurts. I even have one of those nice ergonomic chairs that kind of forces me to sit up straight. And then, well, just so we have them. Put our cards right here. And of course, we'll kind of indicate the fingers. But I think we're going to end it with the cards and go up there. So, yeah. And this is all, you know, it's such a totally different game from just doing a painting. It's like, not only do you have to come up with a cool idea or design, make sure it works, it's now you got to pay attention to like a layout and the real estate you have to use and all this other shit that goes along with it, you know. I did this this Mad Hatter sitting on a teapot dab rig, but I didn't realize that the smoke line I had drawn from his mouth to the rig was too small, so they couldn't die cut it. And so now it's like, okay, so now I have to go back in, and it was on a white canvas, so I have to like digitally drop in like a black background, and then, because I've already sealed the painting, and then to be able to make it work. You know, white background's not going to work. I can make it work for like a die cut mat or something of that nature, but it needs to have a whatchamahoob, a way to die cut it, a colored background, Because they sent me samples of like some of my shit on with like white backgrounds, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? I'm like, the minute someone like they're gonna use this for a week, and then the whole thing is gonna be like just filthy. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we could probably. We'll start the stack here since we want to go more vertical. And we'll give him one of those, give her one of those old school plastic ashtrays. We've all seen them, just that shitty brown. We'll work that corner out a little better in the painting, of course. It's great about sketching, 1,600 lines till you get it right. And that's just for draw-through purposes. I mean, there's get the first few cigarette butts hanging in there. Then you start on kind of the second layer. And I am going to erase a few of these out so I can see what it actually looks like. Yeah, cool. This is kind of the general idea where I wanted to go with the Red Queen. Any suggestions, let me know. Feel free to jump in anytime, and if you got a funny idea or something like that. Not that you guys have to come up with my ideas, but big old pile. Gotta have one that fell out. Can't imagine this lady's clean. Alright. So she's got her card. So I think what I want to do is put a Red Queen card here. And these will be Social Security checks. So SS check. And this will be a card, so we'll give it the outline. I could do the same with the Hatter too if I put them in there instead of that card that just says like, you know, 5, whatever the size is. I could put Social Security checks in his hat too. But you'll see, I did the last Hatter I did is in the image stream, so it's got the Honey Hatter, and that's for it's 7/10 today, yeah. So happy 7/10. But that one will that's coming out on all the new dab mats that I have being produced. So, and for those just joining, this is the piece that we talking like the Unabomber now, that I painted, for now, the bourbon barrel, and then there's the devil with the slugs and the Venus flytraps. Boom. Make sure we just indicate that her snarled fingers are wrapped around these cards. And the good thing about it is you can just go anywhere with these, with the fingers. You can just join them. You can make them. I mean, she's a mess. Like, I'll just do maybe like a, maybe a shirt. I don't know. Maybe we'll do the hunter over. Now we'll bring her neck out like that. This you won't even see probably on the pipe, but I do want to sketch it out for the full painting. Almost put her in Alice's dress. Maybe some hair. We'll indicate a little hair. And then we can yeah, I like that. It's almost like if you guys have ever seen any Aphex Twin videos, like just how he puts himself in like women's bodies and does like superimposes his face over all these like fucked up creatures, and so it's almost like giving her that like Aphex Twin, like Chris Cunningham kind of look, where she's almost like very manly, but she's in this like dress, this regal dress. And then she's got her Social Security check tucked in her visor with a couple of red, maybe 3 red roses or whatnot. So, and I'll match the style. I'll show you guys the, let's see, that was the hatter that I painted, the new honey hatter. So I'll pan that back a little bit, but this is the one. This is the very first one I streamed. But just taking the elements and doing a lot of patchwork on the hat and whatnot, and working with a lot of textures. And like with this one, since it's about dabbing and whatnot, or for the all ages group, he just wants some honey for his tea. So you get the Cheshire reflected, but using elements like the honey flowing down and forming the pinstripes on his suit. And then just having like the little, little drips right here as well. But with her, maybe adding a little bit more decorative work to her little puffy shoulders or whatnot. But it just depends how much I'm going to be able to fit on the pipe. I mean, right now, if we crushed her a little bit, we might be able to see it. So I might even thin her out a little more, like crazily thin, and then to be able to fit her on the pipe. But when I go to do the painting, it'll actually be like a full painting, and we'll have a background in it and all that. And I'll have some characters floating around in the back, and like I said, like maybe do the cards that are guarding her as like the pit bosses, kind of overlooking her really shitty poker playing, or maybe thinking that she's cheating or whatnot. So let's get her thumbs in there. Maybe some gnarled fingernails. really twisty lines on the fingernails fingers to bring them together. And yeah, shade that in a little bit. Maybe we could have like, what's the thing? Vertical. Say we could have the Cheshire tail like popping out right there, but that would just make it increasingly wider. Maybe a little smoke off the cigarette butts. Definitely one off the joint. She's taking a little puff of that. In fact, we'll just bring the smoke straight up. And that's actually how we might do it, is take the hole here in the pipe. We'll put her right here, but that where she's smoking, we'll bring that up, and actually I can make it so it kind of spirals around, there, like the smoke goes around the hole where you put your weed. So that just might work. Cheers. But yeah, just like super thin, maybe put, have the cards like a little bit higher and a little bit higher so I can move that in a little bit. Little elements like that. Thin it out, bring it up. Just to make sure when I have enough elements, like, to where when I do shrink this down, it'll fit nice, and I'm not sitting there trying to figure out where the background's going to be, like down here or whatnot. Like this, I could always, just kind of bring it out and make it a poker table, just green, and kind of fade it in. But I will, like with the hatter and whatnot, like all the splashing and the texture work or whatnot, will definitely continue that past. Like with him, the bottom of the pipe would have to end here, or I'd have to Photoshop in something at the bottom, and I'm not a big fan of that, so, Just want to check one thing. And this will be a good one too, because in the sense that a lot of the trade shows that we do, like the Champ Show and whatnot, are in Vegas. So this will be a good one to kind of commemorate that show, as well as there we go. As well as put out a new pipe and introduce it to the cannabis industry, carry on the Alice in Wonderland series. In her dress, I mean, if I need to go more vertical, I could always do something a little more, almost like butterfly wing, or I don't want her looking too much like Jafar from whatever that movie was, Aladdin. And we'll kind of just flesh in some roses. Let me pull up one quick thing. Okay. Yeah, so working with, zoom that in a bit. So maybe 3 roses up here. We got our Social Security checks. We got the, woo, Queen of Hearts. We got the roses, maybe even, for design's sake. Put a few leaves out here. And to balance color or whatnot. We got our visor. Get a nice green wash going on that, and that'll, once everything's drawn in. In fact, over all the detail work too, I'll probably just wash in the green right there, and that'll give it that visor look, that clear plastic, like shitty clear plastic look. Love this stuff. All right, give her some, girls gotta have curls. All right, there we go. Cool. And yeah, and then I'll work out the dress and, put some nice patterns on the dress, some stripes, whatever. I mean, we'll go in, the line work on her face. I mean, I may elongate her face so I can just really get in there and do this crazy looking thing for it. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good starting point for that painting. We'll start this one up tomorrow. So, well, I'm 1 minute away from 4:20 here. Well, the amount of time I've been streaming. So, I think I'm going to call it for tonight. Let me pop the painting up one more time that I did, because I think I'm going to go drink some beers and troll some other people's sites. The devil, slugs, Venus flytraps, what I like to call the sourdough bread sombrero. His little pit, little boneyard. We got a bourbon guy drinking himself to death, literally. Painting is finished. 6th painting in a month. Thank you so much for hanging out and whatnot and helping to grow the channel for, I don't know if it's quick or not, but for me it is. I will be back on tomorrow at 9 p.m. And at least for this week, I may change it up a little bit earlier. Monday or Tuesday next week, I may do a day stream and then keep Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as far as late night streams. So appreciate the follows, the subscriptions. Pork, you are the man. Thank you for sending everybody over here, and I'm gonna come watch you now. Yeah, and tomorrow we'll start the Red Queen, and eventually I have a 25-foot motorhome that needs remuraling before I go on tour, so I'll move the cameras outside. When I got a family reunion next week. The week after that, I'll maybe start working on that. So I'll stream the live remuraling of my motorhome that I tore in. These walls, I have two 32-foot walls in my studio. So one of the things that Sugar and I want to do, he's going to DJ, I'm going to live paint a mural on the wall. It'll be like Friday, Saturday night. Tune into my channel, crank up the music. There's your DJ, here's your entertainment, me live painting, you got a party. And then, and what I paint in here, I'll take suggestions or whatnot. I am working on something for next year where I might have, for the entire year, just have the fans dictate my career and what I paint. I think that might be kind of cool. Tomorrow's 7/10, oil, free shipping, all capitals. That's your coupon code at SeanDietrichArt.com if you want to pick up any swag, any t-shirts, any prints. Or hop over there. Check out some of the time lapses and some of the awesome music that Sugar's written. And then I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. dull. I'm usually on. Yeah, I might be on time. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers, everyone. Boom.